in it. But to me, fantasy, when I was a kid, it was just too much of the damsel in distress, too much of the princes and the princesses and the just nonsense that Princess Bride sends up so well.
Yeah, I mean, I've got to agree. I think the comedy within it, and most importantly, the timing of the actors. You just get some actors that are terrible with timing, and all of them, the entire ensemble cast, are just brilliant. From Wallace Shawn as Vizzini to Kerry, however you pronounce his surname, as the Dread Pirate Roberts. And it wasn't just how they were acting and the things you used to have. I like, for example, my favourite one is the bit where Count Rugen says to the prince, well, do take care of yourself, because if you don't have your health, you don't have anything. And I thought that was just such a wonderfully incongruous thing for a villain to say, and was so out of place. And
while he's torturing Wesley.
But then you balance that against the bit where they're doing the beautiful swashbuckling scene that's very, very traditional and heroic and fantastic. And they just, rather than it being sort of something that feels out of place, like Pride and Prejudice and Zombies, where every time I read it, it was a case of I could spot all the bits that had been put in, and that really irritated me. But with this, it just flows so smoothly, whether it is genuine drama or action or spoof, it just goes amazingly. I also have to put in a little bit for Peter Cook as the priest when he does the marriage. And on a personal note, I have to say that my husband and I, when we got married, did genuinely try to think if we could try and get someone to stand up and do a reading of that speech in that voice at a part of our ceremony. But we wimped out in the end.
Yes, I was going to say, it's not marriage, it's marriage.
Marriage.
Yeah, it's just great, isn't it? Like, it's one of those ultimate feel-good film where you just want to curl up on the sofa and just have a good time for the next 2 hours. I don't know, I find it really delightful. There's just something endearing, and I think we'll probably touch on this in the discussion later, but I think it's a bit ageless. I don't think it ages particularly at all, maybe because it's a fantasy film and it does play with tropes. And I feel like it has this kind of quality that's very universal and kind of can really be enjoyed at any time, any place.